So, I wanted to ask about as far as Hollywood and people coming out.
Yes.
What do you think about John Travolta? You think what happens to him? I mean, they really, the media sometimes can be so douchey. It gives you chills.
Yeah.
And when they get on the John Travolta bus because of whatever some masseuse says, they do not let up. And, you go, I don't know if he did something to them or they got something on him.
I don't know.
Or I mean, I just think of what it does to his family.
Oh, sure.
And, what do you think about it?
I don't know. I think if he is, we have no concrete proof, but, if one is in the closet and a Hollywood star and you are being that indiscreet,
right,
then it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, why
so
not
you've got to be careful if you want to remain private about whatever you're doing, if that's what he's doing. I always say this. If you want to have sex with a guy, don't hire a masseuse. Hire a hooker like a normal person.
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, and they said he was on he said he was on a, they said the masseuse said they were on a ship.
I know.
Which is probably, maybe it's hard to find a hooker on the Titanic, but I think that you could try to.
It's hard to find a hooker where everyone's going down.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, but I don't know. I mean, I have a lot to say about it, but
I'm just saying sometimes it's unfair. You seem like it's unfair. Maybe it's, or you think about what it would do for a mainstream like that to come out for the gay community because, hey, look, I'm gay and I make a living.
It's never going to happen, because there is. Look at all the people that are out. There is not one major movie star that is.
And it's the same in sports. Sports doesn't have, and have never had
any of the big
while
major
they're currently
stars,
playing and in the height of
now, who's the young
career.
man? Who's the guy that came out recently?
Jason Collins, basketball player.
Basketball player.
I went to school with him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Could never tell he was gay.
You're filled with
I worked out with him.
surprises and information. You worked out with him.
He is really brushed up against a lot of very historical figures.
Oh, no pun intended.
But almost as if my eyes were closed while brushing
I guess so.
against them.
I guess
but
so.
You went to, but and now, is it true that I don't know a lot about sports, but my brother was telling me that he's towards the end of his career in basketball.
Yes.
Is that true?
He may not play
Been in the
next year
league
'cause
for
the team might not pick him up.
What was it? 13 years maybe in the league, like which in basketball is you're on your way out.
Yeah. So he came out towards the end, but I think he did it while he was still
technically
in
still
the
playing.
game. So good for him. I think. I don't know.
What they're worried about, they're worried about, and this makes a lot of sense. Not even the teammates and the coaching staff or the executives nowadays, which, that took a long time to get to a good spot with that. But it's the fans. The fans who are going to have the attitude where, like, I paid for a ticket. You're not going to stop me from yelling anything. Yeah. And that could be, they could get vicious on top of vicious.
Yeah. Especially if they're on the opposite team.
Yeah.
They can say stuff.
Definitely.
Look, that goes, yeah.
Or if
I've had those fears. My early stand-up, that's all I was afraid of was being on stage at 1 in the morning at the Improv and someone yelling.
I'm sure it happened.
And it happened.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Not at the Improv, but it happened in Princeton, New Jersey, at Catch a Rising Star. Yes, it did. And it did.
I mean,
and there was no protection on their end at all.
I'm sure
there was nothing said. There was,
how long ago?
They were horrible. That hotel that it was in the Hyatt. They were horrible. They had a corporate meeting one time because I said something on stage about the woman that checked me in because she was horrible. They didn't want to give us a room. We had to be bussed down the street.
You're kidding me.
And I was like, I'm playing here. I played here before.
You're kidding me.
They had changed the rules, and she was so rude. And her name was Sarah, and I called her Sarah Plain and Tall because that's exactly what she looked like. So I said Sarah Plain and Tall on stage, and someone in the back yelled, "She gave me some dude this today." And the audience was all in on it, and they had a corporate meeting about that, and I was banned from playing that room ever again.
I got to tell you, I did that room twice, 2 or 3 times, and I had a very bad experience every time.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. To hear that happening, like
white people in Princeton.
Well, I'm saying in Jersey. Too. Like, it's not even like, you're talking bum F somewhere in Dakota.
No, I know.
You're talking Jersey.
In Jersey, I know.
Well, also it could happen in sports if the team, it's a team you're rooting for, but the gay player happens to screw up and they yell at you for that.
Oh, sure.
So it takes a lot of guts.
a lot
of guts.
Yeah. It does. It's, and I'm sure. And look at, as far as Jackie Robinson, that movie 42, which they was calling him the N-word left and right. I mean, at the beginning, they were.
Well, he had it, and the point with Brand Tricky always made with him was you got to be a special guy where for at least the first year or two, you can't react to it because that's what they want. And they'll say, look, we can't have them because they're just going to overreact and fight. It's going to cause fights. You got to suck it up for the first couple of years. And on top of it, play great so you could show you that, you're a valuable asset. What he did was amazing.
It was amazing. It really was. It was. But, you're right. I mean, people can yell from the stands. It can happen.
The thing with sports, and I can truly see, maybe guys in individual sports coming out,
a couple of boxers did.
No,
like
guys, guys who don't have a team around them, because so much is made when you're on a professional team about not upsetting the balance, about not being a distraction
in the locker room. And
and anything is labeled a distraction. Anything out of the normal itinerary, the normal schedule becomes a distraction, and every coach in the league does everything they can to avoid that. And they would label a guy who's coming out a distraction.
And that's how they bring it up. That's how they say, okay, I don't have a problem with it, but this is the dynamic.
Well, it's going to start happening.
Yes.
And I think it's going to have to be dealt
it's mega close.
I think smaller. I think it'll start happening like with basketball, smaller teams. Smaller group. You got 5 guys on the floor at a time in basketball, as opposed to 22 guys playing on a football team. Smaller teams means smaller distraction, means more guys, can roll with it. More guys are understanding. More guys are just,
like you
able
said,
to
it's going to start happening,
normally.
and the more it happens, they're going to yell that shit from the stands. It's going to happen, but then hopefully there's going to be a hump that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, because people are calling it the F word now.
Right.
And there's the N word and the F word, and they're trying to give the word faggot as much weight as the N word, and it doesn't have as much weight, but it's starting to. It's close. It really is, and I think that's what's going to have to happen eventually, where they can't yell that from the stands, and they're going to have to at first, and then they're going to have to. It's just going to end up stopping eventually, hopefully, because they're not yelling the N-word from the stands anymore, and they did years ago, I'm sure.
Definitely.
So it's just, you've got to go through that process. You've got to go through that journey.
Again, not only the fans, the other team would yell it out.
Sure.
Ty Cobb used to do.
Absolutely.
I always wanted to ask you about this too, Mario. You're a great comedian, really talented, good at what you do, a great actor. Do you resent sometimes that also being gay, you're forced to almost, is it a distraction from your comedy sometimes where you might feel you have to address this to help the cause a little bit? Or do you welcome doing it?
No.
Or do you feel it's a distraction?
You mean the gay cause, you mean?
Well, I feel like, look, just concentrate on the fact that I'm funny. Do I always have to talk about,
look, I have some political aspects of my act, but I'm far from a political comedian.
Right.
I'm there to entertain. I'm there to make you laugh.
Your act is a fun act.
It's been pretty, exactly. It's up, I have some stuff to say about not just being gay, but but I don't want to be a comedian. It's like being a fat comedian and just doing fat jokes. It's like being a gay comedian.
No, that's not even what I'm saying. I'm talking about off stage. Because your act is brilliant on its own.
You want to know what? I am 53 years old. I have been out most of my career.
Right.
That I'm not even considered someone that came out.
Yeah.
I have been who I am. I've been in the public eye, and if that's the best I can do. Yes, I do stuff for gay rights. Yes, I've done stuff for the Trevor Project, and I've and for Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. I do every benefit they ask me to do. I am there for the cause.
Right.
But am I do I go at it crazily? No, I do not. Right. I don't. I just think being who I am is enough. I do.
No,
I hate to sound like Fantasia Barrino, but I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired.
No, the fact that you exist is fight for the cause.
Exactly.
You have been. You've had mainstream success, and you've been out forever.
Yeah.
You know.
And now, I feel like it's. I feel. I mean, there's a times because I'm older and I've been there and I've done it, and I'm still doing it, but I'm not the fresh one. I'm not the young one. I'm passé a little bit now. I feel that. I
You
do.
will never be.
Like it's.
Mara Cantone will never be passé.
I am passé. I've got 1 foot in the grave.
Well, thanks for coming on, brother. As
Thank
always.
you.
What do you want to plug the most?
I'm doing the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City on the 29th of June 29th.
Golden
a week
Nugget.
from tomorrow.
And
It's Friday night, so a week from tomorrow, Golden Nugget. So I'm going to do my full show. I got my band.
Oh,
do my
great.
big night. I'm going to swing.
That's where I'm going to get my sister and take her to one of those.
Yeah, I'm doing that. And then I'm also going to do July 15th, I'm going to do Long Beach Island at the Surflight Theater. Because, that place was really kind of messed up by the hurricane. And
July 15th?
At Long Beach Island, Surflight
Monday
Theater.
night,
It's a
I'll
small
be-
little theater out there. They asked me to do it, and I was like, yeah, And I've spent some time out in Long Beach Island. I've got a great story about Long Beach Island that I will tell on Long Beach Island. And yeah, I'll be there July 15th, and Golden Nugget in Atlantic City,
I'll tell you
June
what I
29th.
want to. July 13th is a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm down at my shore house. I want to get you. Would you come down before the show?
I'll be in California.
Oh, okay.
Until
because my
I would
sister,
lo-
one
is-
day this summer, I'll figure out when you come
I would
down.
love to come see you.
Yeah, because
sister
on the
again.
way down, you come there.
I come in on the 14th, and then I'm gonna be in Sonoma in Healdsburg. I was saying,
Oh,
and I come in on the 14th, and then the 15th I do that. But I would love to come to
And
your
we'll figure it out
house.
another day.
Yes, I would.
The great Mario Cantone. We'll be
The
back after
Jersey
this.
Shore.